Buenas tardes,
Ladies and
señoras y
gentlemen,
señores.
good evening.
Hoy tenemos la oportunidad
We have the chance
Casa
today
Árabe el
to
proyecto del
present
artista
the project of Enikö Nagy
y su exposición Arena
and
que hemos
her exhibition Sand in My Eyes, which we've organized in conjunction with the Sudanese embassy, with which we work
gustaría recordar
regularly.
la Semana de Sudán que se organizó hace
2
2
years
años
ago, we held the Week of Sudan in May 2013,
con ocasión de aquella reunión
and at
tuvo
that
lugar el
time,
primer foro económico
we held the first
que contó
economic
con la presencia de varios
forum,
ministros
Spain-Sudan,
sudaneses,
with ministers from both countries
por un extenso
and
programa
with
cultural
cultural events,
consecuencia
concerts, and exhibitions. After that forum, a Spanish delegation visited Khartoum in October 2013, and I had the honor to be part of that delegation. Before opening today's exhibition, we've organized this conference so that the artist can describe her work. And we'll be seeing a video with the same title as the exhibition, Sand in My Eyes. Enikö Nagy is a photographer, and she has researched for many years the way people live in Sudanese villages in the region of Kordofan. There are 48 pictures that make up the exhibition, and they're the result of work on the ground by the artist who also compiled sayings and traditional sayings. This reflects Sudan's tradition, which are the result of the mix between Islam and indigenous African traditions. The pictures reflect that traditional diversity, and so does the video, and that is also described in the book. Enikö Nagy is a social educator. She was born of Hungarian parents in Romania in 1979, and she spent her childhood in Germany. She's worked as a development agent for the German Agency of Development, and she's also been an international expert for UNESCO. She's currently an advisor on development and a researcher on intangible heritage in different places in Sudan, where she's been living for 8 years. Yesterday we presented the Atalaya magazine, which has an issue devoted to Sudan. And today, there's a long weekend that's starting, and that's the reason why there are fewer people than usual in an event such as today's. But fortunately, tomorrow, because we have a long weekend, tomorrow we hope there will be many people sharing our privilege of being here together. Right next to the book fair here at Casa Árabe. Let me now give the floor to Tarig Hassan, who's in charge of the chargé d'affaires of the Sudanese embassy.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Ambassador Eduardo López Busquets, Director General of Casa Árabe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allow me at the outset to express my deepest gratitude to all of you for attending this evening, this presentation, and then the inauguration of the exhibition titled Sand in My Eyes, or Arena en mis ojos in Spanish. This wonderful work by the talented researcher and photographer Enikö Nagy is a tremendous opportunity to show remarkable features of the rich Sudanese culture and traditions, and the daily life of the people in various parts of Sudan. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Casa Árabe and its Director General Ambassador Eduardo López Busquets for organizing, in collaboration with our embassy, this exhibition and hosting it at Casa Árabe in Madrid. Sudan is a fascinating country with a vast land, profoundly diverse peoples from different tribes and ethnic groups, cultures, and nature. This unique exhibition, which will last for more than a month, will show so many different faces through the faces of its culture, traditions, and customs. It also gives an opportunity to Arab mother tongue speakers and those who know Arabic language to get acquainted with the colloquial Sudanese dialect. I prefer to give you the chance to discover yourself all these wonders through a look and a tour in the exhibition. Sudan is a cradle of civilization. Many kingdoms flourished in ancient Sudan. Kerma, around 3000 BC, was the first indigenous civilization in Africa. The kingdom of Kush, or Meroe, was one of the greatest civilizations in the ancient world, and one of the earliest civilizations developed in the river Nile. The Kushite established the 25th Egyptian dynasty in 775 BC, ruling until 653 BC. The Kushite kings were known in history as the Black Pharaohs. The kingdom of Kush represents an ancient African civilization which few people outside Africa know about it. Kush, however, was mentioned in the Bible and was well known to the Romans and Greeks. Meroe was the first kingdom in Africa which developed iron industry. Therefore, it was known among archaeologists as the Birmingham of Africa. The Kushite made many contributions to humanity. The basic principles of mechanics were developed in Meroe to make the life easy for the inhabitants. That is to say, the sagia, the shadoof, and the pulley for the water wells. Meroitic architecture was unique of its type. The pyramids, temples, and kiosks are witnesses for that glory. Women played a key role within the governance of the kingdom of Kush, almost unique in the ancient world. It's worth mentioning that many powerful queens governed Meroe. The most famous is Queen Amanitori, known as the Candace. Amanitori has been well regarded and rewarded as well by international historians and has been included as number 39 on a list of the 50 greatest Africans. Great women are often left out of history, but queens of ancient Sudan had put their names and wrote their name in history. Hence, I would rather say that Sudan, with its rich history and valuable contributions to humanity, can play an extremely important role in maintaining peace and stability of Africa and the region. Sudan is qualified to contribute immensely and positively to Africa and the world through maintaining good relationship with its neighbors and other foreign countries, which is the case today. Yesterday, more than 15 heads of states and governments and high-level representatives of neighboring and friendly countries attended the swearing of His Excellency Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir as the President of the Republic of Sudan for the next 5 years. I strongly believe that this sort of cultural activity can play an important role in deepening the relationship between our two countries. I'm confident that our cultural exchange will continue to accelerate through such activities and cooperation. My heartfelt appreciation is due to His Excellency Ambassador Eduardo López Busquets and all his esteemed staff for their close collaboration and cooperation with our embassy in organizing cultural events. I would like to indicate that Casa Árabe hosted yesterday a presentation of a special issue on Sudan of the well-known Spanish periodical Atalayar. As I conclude my remarks, allow me to reiterate that as a close friend of Casa Árabe, I promise to continue working with enthusiasm towards strengthening cultural ties between Sudan and Spain. Last but not least, I would like to once again express my gratitude to you all and wish you all the best. Thank you very much. شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you very much for the finely worded introduction. I'm delighted to speak to the guests here today in the beautiful Madrid and in the wonderful Casa Árabe. In March 2009, after having lived 2.5 years in Sudan as a development worker in rural North Kordofan state, I was ready to go home. My luggage was already packed when I decided to stay and to write a book instead. My intention to document the poetic rhythm of everyday life in Sudan, of all places, an environment people commonly relate to crisis, was so unusual to both foreigners and locals that I was suspected of having either fallen in love with a Sudanese local or being a spy. To that extent, was it unimaginable to look at Sudan for its cultural wealth and human contribution to the world. Leaving behind my career, my secure income and status within the framework of international development cooperation, which, concerned with poverty and conflict, had initially brought me to Sudan, I left a cocoon of support and of perspectives and arrived in Sudan as a fellow human being, not as a helper. I embarked on a quest that would take 5.5 years to complete. It entailed rearranging my entire life around producing a bilingual book without funds to start with, without institutional background or a publisher, and in a language I didn't speak in the beginning. After its production has spanned 4 continents and 5 countries, the book you can finally see has been released last year. Working among nomads and agricultural communities in the remote areas of Sudan meant that I had become part of a network of cultures whose way of life has a precious and important message to convey to the world. I wanted it to have an impact. A simple way of life, sense of community, societies where social justice is paramount and where people share, subsistence farming in a close relationship with the environment, rituals which connect people to their inner world, and peace of mind. The paramount values of unconditional kindness to fellow human beings, of outstanding generosity and hospitality in a distinctive Sudanese way, across the country's many cultures, reflect a particular life philosophy. Inspired to document that life philosophy, I traveled 30,000 kilometers and collected visual and spoken moments of day-to-day life, like proverbs, fables, legends, myths, anecdotes, songs, ritual advices, laments, and other oral traditions from about 45 tribes and ethnic groups from among the various cultures that make up Sudan. In asking what Sudanese is and how that translates into moments of day-to-day life, a greater question is being echoed, that of who are we and what makes us who we are as individuals and communities. From the moments I was privileged to witness habits, dress, adornment, scarifications, ceremonies, customs, beliefs, food and gait, everything spoke, this is me, this is us. Being passed on from one generation to another, such expressions of immaterial heritage give people a sense of identity and belonging to a community, a tradition, or a way of life, and resonate their entire past and present experience. I believe it is in this cultural territory nations live, in a land within its people, where customs, superstitions, rituals, manners, beliefs, and experiences are shared, rather than within lines inscribed on a map. It is ignorance if we don't know that there is poverty in Africa, but it is also ignorance if that is all we know. Apart from denying people to have culture, it denies us the possibility to learn from the African same one human experience. Typical for people with nomadic roots, Sudan's cultural heritage is largely intangible and lies in a plethora of relational levels, subtle interpersonal dealings with sophisticated codes of conduct and communication, as well as a profound understanding of the deeper fabric of life, a portable human wealth. When the proverb says, "Be like the sandalwood, perfume even the axe that cuts it," one can but sense the immense dignity, humanity, and kindness this call has ingrained in its owners, particularly in situations in which one is wronged. As a hand worn out by hard work offers you fermented camel milk from a photo, its white color, a Bedouin tradition, is a sign of peaceful intentions and a clean heart. Offer the white, the saying goes, and beyond an imperative of superior hospitality, which can be expected in the simplest huts and the smallest tents in Sudan, it is a categorical instruction for any situation. Listen to what I say, the elder tells you in the end of the exhibition, and throw it to the sea. From it speaks a voice deeply knowledgeable of human conditions, with reserve, not insisting. It is typical for a people who are used to coexist with others. It is up to you, it says. Ignore what is said if you so wish, but listen to what is on offer. وخليني أتكلم كلمتين بالسوداني. أنا بالمناسبة ما بتكلم عربي. أنا بحاول أتكلم سوداني. أنا تعلمت كلام الناس والسوداني بالنسبة لي عربي وزيادة. بزيادة المهنة والكرم فيات والقدح الكبير وبت الرجال وود الناس. والروح السوداني اللي أنا لقيت في الدنيا البسيطة في الريف السوداني. والدنيا دي ذاتها ما بسيطة كله هي معقدة حيوية وحكيمة. To the people of Sudan who granted me the rare privilege of sharing their lives, I dedicate this collection of their Sudanese moments. May their words continue to inspire future generations everywhere. Please feel welcome to sign the guest book of Sand in My Eyes, to take your words back to Sudan in the end of the European tour. You will find it over there in the exhibition. And I would like to thank a few people on behalf of everybody else who participated in this project over the years, whose name I cannot mention in a project of this magnitude because there are just too many. Let me thank Al-Yasir Al-Khatim, a young Sudanese filmmaker whose film you are going to see in a few minutes. Carla Fibla, the Spanish PR representative of Sand in My Eyes, for her overall greatness, as well as the committed team of the Casa Árabe for hosting this exhibition and inserting all the efforts and all the love needed for that. And finally, to the Sudanese embassy in Madrid for their partnership. Thank you very much.
Muchas